Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today I want to talk about the Wonder Weeks app, and if you've never heard of the Wonder Weeks before, they have a book and an app, but if you've never heard of them before, this is seriously a crucial video to watch. It helped me so much with my son, especially just understanding what he was going through in certain times where he just didn't seem himself, and how I could kind of help him through that. So let's get started. Okay guys, so don't mind my cracked iPad, but basically what I have here is the app. I've downloaded it already, clearly because we've used it before with my son, but what we're going to do is you're going to download it. I think it's a couple of bucks, maybe $2.50 or so. So if you are wanting to pay for it, that's great. I'm going to give you all the specs, that way hopefully you can decide whether or not you want to purchase it yourself. If you're not an app person, like I said, there's a book, so let's dive right into it. So you're going to open up the app. And when you first open up the app for the very first time, it's going to prompt you to put in your child's information. Now, it'll ask for their name and the sex of your child and whether you have multiple children and what their name and sex is as well. Plus, it's going to ask you your due date, so the day that your baby was actually due. And the reason they do this is because it's all about your child's brain development and their mental development. And so every child's mental development will be the same, regardless if your baby was 3 weeks early or 3 weeks late. You know, they're still going to be on the same path. They're still going to hit those developmental leaps roughly at the same time, regardless of when they were born. So keeping that in mind as you move forward. So we're just going to go through it a bit. So on this side here, it says Leaps, Legend, Chart, and Notes. It also has this week always on the front page. You can put a little picture in there if you want, but it has, you know, everything that you need to know for this week kind of summarized there for you. And then at the bottom it has this week, which we're on right now. It has Leaps. So it talks about leap ABCs, why the due date, so like we were touching on there, like if you click on that, it'll explain that, you know, it's the due date versus the actual birth date because of the developmental milestones of your child's brain development. All leaps, so if you want a breakdown of what the different leaps are, you know, and when they happen and all that sort of stuff, like you can see here between 4.5 to 5 weeks, 7.5 to 9 weeks, and it just goes on until they're 7.5 to 76.5 weeks. Then you can look more into this. So there's Read the Wonder Weeks. So if you want to buy the ebook or read it in the app, you can buy each individual leap that they're going through. You can actually purchase more information on it that already would come in the book, or you can purchase the printed version as well. And then leap alarms, so that you can get a notification when they're starting a new leap or when they're in a new leap. Fussy phases, so this is going to talk about periods in the leap that are, you know, they're extra fussy, lots is going on, why they're that way, and kind of how to get through it. Facts and questions, the audiobook, and videos. So that's basically the sort of in-depth of everything that, you know, the Wonder Weeks is about and what the leaps are about. And I sort of gave you a very quick, very short summary of that, but that's basically it in a nutshell. It follows the developmental leaps from the due date and kind of talks about why they have these fussy periods and how to sort of help them, like I was saying. So then you can go into notes, create a new note if you want, kind of keep notes as you're going along with your child, or about. So about this app, about Dr. Franz is the person who created the Wonder Weeks book and, you know, figured out the whole system for it. Launch the tutorial, so if you want to take you through a tutorial, you can do that and send some feedback if you have any concerns or questions of yourself. So let's go ahead and go back to this week, and we're going to look at the actual charting and stuff for my son. So you can go into notes just like before. You can type a note, have a title, all that sort of stuff, and save it, you know, for that week if you want. And then you can look at your chart. So I'm going to back up to the top and show you here. So these are each week. You can have it versus the date or week. It doesn't matter, whatever you prefer. And then if you had multiple children, it would allow you to scroll through up at the top there. to see each one. Your child is going to be the little red dot, and as you can see, Jacob's just coming out of a leap there. So basically the sunshine period here that you see is when they're going to be very happy. Their emotions are going to be much happier. They're going to be happier, you know, kind of all around, and they've probably by this point learned what they're going through and are able to articulate it or explain it a bit better to you, you know, without really even verbal communication. So these blue lines that you see all along here, that's when your child is in the actual leap. So you can see this is like 4.5 to 5.5 weeks. It was his very first leap. And the cloud period is going to be kind of, you know, 2 or 3 days that it's going to be really hard to get through. So a really fussy period. You're really going to have a hard time getting through that leap because they're learning something new and their brains don't understand how to let you know that they're learning something new, and so they're frustrated that they haven't figured it out yet. And so it actually tells you to kind of stop trying to help teach them these things at that point, and let them kind of figure it out for themselves, kind of give them a mental break. So anytime you're going to enter into a cloud, you're going to give them a bit of a mental break. Otherwise, throughout the rest of the leap, for the rest of the weeks that you're dealing with the leap, you're really going to try to encourage them to do these things. So if it's a leap of, you know, them learning to, you know, exchange something from one hand to the other, or roll over, or sit up, or crawl, or whatever it is, you're really going to try to encourage that, really try to help them through it when they're in the bar. But the second they hit that sort of fussy window, you're going to kind of pull back and stop. Now, of course, the fussy window is going to fluctuate for different kids because human beings are different and that's how we operate. So try to keep it in mind that if they do hit a fussy period close to this cloud, so say a week, you know, before, a week after, kind of watch those sort of set weeks. And if they hit it sometime in there, try to back off a bit and give them a couple of days to sort of resettle and refocus. So like I said, you're the red dot, and it just follows through and it just will count along the weeks. So that's for the actual chart of it. And then legend will give you kind of a breakdown of those things, like I was saying. So if you see the white bar or a regular bar, it's basically saying that your baby's probably not in a complicated phase at that time. If you see the blue bar, your baby may be fussier now. Around this week with the storm cloud period means they're most likely to be learning the bulk of what they're learning, and they're frustrated that they can't figure it out. The sunshine, it's saying that your baby's sunny side will most likely show through this week, so they'll just be happier in general. So there's only really one gray box that shows up through the whole chart, and it's talking about fussy and irritable behavior around 29 to 30 weeks is a lot of the telltale signs of another leap. So just keeping that in mind, and that your baby is learning new skills and learning about like distance and stuff like that. So if you go into the actual leap, it'll take you to the leap that you're in at that moment. And in that, it'll give you a summary. So it has a little video there and talks about what to remember and what to do, how to kind of help you help them. And then abilities, it's going to talk about what abilities they're actually going to learn while they're in this leap. So it talks about he's going to learn his emotions, you know, happy, sad, all that kind of stuff. He wants to do more things by himself. You know, he likes to be outdoors. He might play angry. He might start nagging or throw more tempers. You know, we've got to lay down the rules, it's saying. And understand the concepts of mine and yours. And they also start to sort of negotiate and bargain. So this is just the one that Jacob's in, and those are some examples of what he's learning in his leap. Signs, so this allows you to figure out whether they're in that leap, if they're in their really cloudy period or not. So like it says here, so signs your baby is growing again, so follows you constantly wherever you go, is jealous, is cheerful, breastfeeding toddlers seem to want to be fed more, acts unusually sweet, or is mischievous. So there's going to be some very, very detailed telltale signs. And then help, there's always a little help guide to help you kind of get through it, to help you understand it, and to help you sort of set guidelines for your child. So it says here, set ground rules. You know, allow your toddler to do physical antics. Let your child browse the outside, getting acquainted with the outdoors. Allow your child to imitate or replay what he sees around him. Grasp your toddler, all these things. So that's going to just, like I said, that's for his leap right now, but that's basically the rundown that it's going to give you for each leap. So going back to the chart, you're going to see that there's quite a few leaps within the first couple of years. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so if you go to the leaps, and then if you go to all leaps, like I said, there is different things like changing in sensations, patterns, smooth transitions, events. Relationships is a really, really tough one because they're learning mom, dad, when you leave, when you come back. And that's normally when babies go through that period of kind of separation anxiety. So it's a huge one. That one really helped me understand what he was going through and how I could help him. Categories, sequences, programs, principles, and systems. And if you at any point want to click on one, you can see right away kind of what's going on and how to help and assess the situation, just like you would see on any other leap that they're going through in that time. So that is kind of it for the Wonder Weeks app, guys. Like I said, you can add multiple children if you want, and they've just got a ton of information for you to hopefully help you better understand your child and what they are going through. So I hope that helped, guys. I know it's a lot of information, but it is such needed information. Like I said, just to sort of summarize one more time for you guys, it is all about their developmental leaps. So things that they're going to be learning. And it just helps you to totally understand exactly why they're acting the way they are. Jacob has had times where he just throws super fits, and I was so frustrated and didn't understand it. And so this really, really helped me, guys. And I think it's worth the money for it for sure. The couple of bucks that it, takes to download and just help you understand and help you figure out how to get through it, definitely I think would be worth it. Like I said, if you are interested in the book, I'll have that listed down below, as well as the app. I'll make sure I have the app linked down below for you guys too, to check that out if you want to. But yeah, my review on this is that it's a much needed app. So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. I'm definitely not an expert on this at all. It's just the stuff that I've learned from dealing with Jacob and with this app. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And as always, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, to follow along in my latest videos. And like I said, comment down below if you have any questions, or if you have any review requests or video requests. Comment those down below also, and I'll try to make sure that I get to them. Thanks so much, guys, and have an awesome day. Bye.